What's up everyone, Sonny here, and today we're going to be doing a freeCodeCamp tribute page. Um, it's supposed to look a little something like this, but we're going to add a little extra touch and make it look like this. Yes, because you have to make your stuff unique. You don't have You could copy, you could look at ideas online, but you have to make yours unique and better than the example they give you. So as you can see, when I run the test on the CodePen site, I got a 10 out of 10. So stay tuned, get ready to code. Alright, as you can see, I'm using Visual Studio Code as my editor. So I'm just gonna create this index.html and this CSS page. And I'm gonna add my default tags up in the HTML page and put my header, call it tribute page since that's what we're making, and I'm gonna link my style sheet to my HTML, which is index.css. I'm also gonna link an icon for my header. By doing this, all I have to do is change the style sheet to icon and the location of my icon, which is right here, or the URL. If it's on your computer, you find the location and put it right up in here. Okay, so I'm gonna go live so I could have everything as I type, like so. Alright, so now we're gonna follow all the guidelines given first so we could get this 10 out of 10 for this tribute page. So first we have to have an element with a corresponding ID main, which contains all other elements. So you could use any tag for this. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna use a div tag with an ID of main, and it's supposed to contain everything else. Okay, number 2, I should see an element with a corresponding ID title, which contains string that describes. Okay, I'm gonna put this in a header because as you can see in the example, this is their header, this is the header. So I'm gonna put it inside a header tag. And the header is gonna have an ID of title. Number 3, I should see a div element with a corresponding ID image div. Okay, so I'm gonna create another div element with another ID of image div. Alright, Inside the image div, I should see an image element with a corresponding ID image. Okay. This image should have an ID of img. This is so unnecessary, but if we're gonna get this 10 out of 10, we gotta do what we gotta do. Next div, we're at number 5. Okay. Within the image div element, I should see an element with a corresponding ID image caption that contains textual content describing the image shown in image div. Alright, so I'm gonna have p tag. I'm gonna put the caption inside of p tag because it only says that I should see an element. It didn't say what element, so we could use whatever element we want. Image-caption that contains textual describing the image div. Okay. Okay, now that our image caption is all set, we're in number 6. I should see an element with a corresponding ID tribute info, which contains textual content describing the subject of the tribute page. Okay, so now we're gonna get out of this image div and we're gonna create a section. That section is gonna be all of this, all this info. So I'm gonna create a section tag. It could be a div or anything, to be honest. And we're gonna give it an ID of tribute info. And don't worry, for now we're just gonna follow the user story first and then put in all the content. So just a heads up. So we're in user number 7. I should see an A element with a corresponding tribute link which links to another side, blah 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 blah. Okay, this is this. It's talking about this link that leads to a Wikipedia page about Norman Boileau, this guy. So this link links to the Wikipedia page. We could just put that at the bottom. Like, but first, before we do all that, now we're gonna put in our content. So far we got nothing. Now we can put in all our content. So our page is supposed to look something like this, exactly like this, I mean. So first you're gonna create an h1 tag with the name. So this name, you're gonna get this h1 tag with this name, and below this we're gonna put the Black Muslim. Alright, looks like this, and we're gonna get this image. Now you guys could just look for somebody else, you know, and change the color and change everything into your own unique styling, because you don't want to make a website that look exactly like mine or someone else's, or even like the example. It shouldn't look exactly the same. Alright, so now I'm getting the location of the image, which is there, and now I'm gonna put in my alt text, which is MLK, no, Martin Luther and Malcolm X. You should always remember to put in your alt text just in case the image is not found, or certain people, they use different people with disabilities. I don't know why they would browse a website, but they do, and this is for them. If they're looking and they can't see it, but they have a hearing device, so they'll hear. This will be read to them, Martin Luther and Malcolm X, so they know what's on the website anyway. After we're done with this, we gotta put in our caption. To be honest, we don't have to go far, we just have to copy and paste this. And when you're doing this, your info has to be more detailed. It has to be detailed enough for anyone to look at this and really understand what's going on. So, and it has to describe who's who. So like I said, on March 26th, Malcolm on the right and Martin Luther on the left. You could word it however you want. Yeah. So after that, we're gonna put in our info, which I think I saved down. Okay. So here we'll just put in our H1 tag. All right, and this is my UL, my unordered list that has a listing of all my information. So I wish there was an easier way to just make all of these turn to a list, but I had to do all of this manually. As you can see up in here, all of this is done manually. So yeah, you have to go ahead and look for your content info, look for some timeline online, and just put it inside a list. All right, that's a lot of info. Okay, so what I'm gonna do now is push this back because it indented too far. So what I'm gonna do is press Shift Tab to make it go back, which is the reverse of the tab. So it's going back. And I think that's pretty good, right? Alright, so when we go ahead and put in all our info, let's see how it looks so far. Boom. And don't forget to put in all your information, all the dates in a B tag to make it bold, or in a span tag if you want to style the bold with CSS or something. So after that, we're gonna go ahead and get the link at the bottom. I'm gonna just go ahead and put it in a p tag. Well, I'll put it in an h2 tag. And to get the link like this has it, I'm gonna put this Wikipedia entry inside an a tag. Right like this. And then we have this. So now before everything, I'm gonna get the link, the URL to my tag. Alright. Now we're gonna just test it out, and boom, our link is working perfectly fine. Go ahead and close all of this. Alright. I think, okay, I have to go live again. I think I closed it by accident. Alright. Now if we go back here, it told us to put a target blank inside our link so it can open in a new tag, in a new tab. Because as you can see, if I go down and click this, it's gonna change my page. It's gonna redirect to the Wikipedia page, but I want this in a new tab. You see, it redirected to this page. So let's go back, and inside our anchor tag, we're gonna add a target underscore blank. So now when I click this, it goes in on a new tab. Alright, so I think we have everything all set. Yep, I think we have all the information we need for this. All we need to do now is just style it. Yep, only thing we need to do is style it. So I'm gonna go ahead and do alright. So I'm gonna go ahead and style this. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and style this page. We're gonna use a universal selector, which is this asterisk right here, which to set all our margin to 0. Zero pixels, and our padding also to 0. Because without this, check it out, look at this. Without this, there's this padding, there's this default margin and padding added to it. So without it, with it, it's all gone. So we could just start from scratch. And now I'm gonna set the box sizing to border box. Now, if you don't know what box sizing does, I'll show you a quick example of how it works. So we're gonna use this example on our header and this p tag. So now we're gonna go and target our header, h1, quickly set our border 1 pixel solid black, no red, and do the same thing for our p tag. Blue. Now we can do this for our p tag. And we're gonna give it a fixed width of like 200 pixels, and this also is gonna have a fixed width of 200 pixels. Now, to understand what box sizing border box does, normally, alright, so as default, all our elements have a box sizing of content box. So we're changing it to border box because when our box sizing, so I'm gonna change this, I'm gonna comment this out for now. So when if I set my padding to the h1, look at what happens. I set padding to like 20 pixels. When I set my padding to 20 pixels, it makes the width larger. The width becomes larger because my width was 200 pixels. Now it's probably like 240 pixels because left and right padding is 20, top and bottom is 20, so it's about 240 pixels by now, right? So what border box does is it doesn't allow it to grow. You see that? It doesn't grow past the fixed width. Without it, you see, without it, as default, it's gonna increase the width, but with border box, the widths stay fixed. So that's why I'm using border box, so I could have my fixed width in everything. That's why I put it inside the universal selector. So we could go ahead and remove all of this. You can go ahead and remove all of this, which is unnecessary for now. Oh, and I'm gonna set my font family to Arial. My default font for everything is gonna be Arial. As you can see, all of it changed. And my header, my h1 tag, I'm gonna set the color to orange, and my background, my p tag, I'm gonna set my color to white. But before that, I should have set my header background to this dark gray background color. I'm gonna put in dark gray for now. And the great thing about Visual Studio Code is that you could really mess with your color. So I don't even like this color, so I'm gonna just make it darker. Yep, this will do. That'll do. Nope, too dark. Nope, too dark. Yeah, something like this will work fine. Yep. Alright, so I'm gonna set my header H1 and header P, set all of them to text to the center, and inside my header I'm probably gonna give it a little padding to about 30 pixels. Perfect. My padding is about 30 pixels. That's all right. It doesn't have to look exactly. And my H1, I'm gonna give it a margin bottom for some space at the bottom. Margin dash bottom to like 20 pixels. And I'm gonna also change my font size because that font's too small. Change my font size, make it a little bigger. Charity will do. And for my P tag, I'm gonna give it a text decoration. No. Font style to make it italic. Yep. Oh. And also, oh, this is only happening because the image is way larger than the viewport. We're gonna change that soon. Alright. So now we're gonna go down to style the image. Okay. Oh, I almost forgot. We have to put a bottom border bottom to like 3 pixels, solid orange. I think 5 pixels will work better. There we go. 5 pixels, solid orange, and that's it for the header. So now we're gonna go ahead and style our image. Now the image, now let's open this up. Carry this right here, this. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and style our image, which is inside the image div. So we're going to target our image dash image div. And we're going to give it a max width of like 100%, and the width of 1000 pixels. And we're gonna make our height auto. So quick tip, if you want to make your image responsive, you have to make your height automatic and set a max width. So now that we're done with that, we could go ahead and center our image, because that's one of the things that they asked right here, which is number 9. It says the image should be centered, and also number 8 says it should respond responsively. It should resize responsively. So that's what we're gonna do right now. So we're gonna go ahead and center our image first. So we're gonna use display block, and then margin 0 pixels and auto. So if you don't understand what's going on, I just set the margin of this image from top to bottom is 0 pixels. So 0 pixels to the top, and left and right is automatic. So as you can see, it's centered equally. Both sides are equal. Alright. So now we're gonna go ahead and actually style the image div for this white background. So we can put a background color. So when I chose my background color in this example, I chose a color that was closer to this color, to the color of this part of the image. So I chose this type of color. So what I did was I typed for the snipping tool. I looked for the snipping tool, and I took a chunk of the image from this side, and I edited this image with Paint 3D. And I used this little thing right here, the eyedropper, to get the color. And I took this hex code and used it as my background color. Simple. And that's how I always, get color ideas. So we could go back to the example, and boom, background color all set. Okay, so as you can see though, the image is responding responsively because we set the height to auto. You see, as it becomes larger and larger, the image grows with it, and boom. And as it turns smaller, the image also shrinks with it. So all this happened by setting the height to auto. If I made it fixed, my goodness, check this out. Boom, see that? That looks terrible. See that? That looks horrible. That's why the image is set relative to the width of the image. Alright, so basically our image is set. Now we have to style our the caption. You might not be able to see it because the default color is black. So I'm going to change the default color of the whole document to white, and this will disappear, but don't worry, we'll get back to it. Default color is white. And now I'm going to go ahead and edit my caption, which is inside my image div. So I'm going to go for image div and my p tag, and I'm going to change the font size a bit because that's way too large, way too small. The font size is way too small. I'm going to give it a font size of like 17 pixels. And I'm going to center it, text line center. So I still think this is a little too small. I guess that'll do it. Well, okay. Let's just keep it at 18 pixels. And give it a little padding of like 20, because like I don't like when it sticks to the image. 20 pixels. And boom. Alright. Now we're gonna add a border to the image div, because this image and the caption is inside one common container, which is the image div. So we're gonna go ahead and put a border bottom to the image div. Border bottom 5 pixels, solid orange. Boom, boom. Okay, so now we're gonna go ahead and style the bottom, the tribute info. Now that was quick. Now let's see how the caption reacts. Boom, everything's responsive. Okay. Now if we go down to the section, since there's only one section, I'm gonna target that instead of writing tribute info, because that's really unnecessary. And I'm gonna give it a background color of like gray, but I'm gonna make it a little darker. So I'm just gonna slide it down a little bit. Nope. Yeah, that's probably good. So the way you do this in Visual Studio, all you have to do is hover over the color and this pops up and you can mess around with it and do your own thing, you know. So I'm gonna give this a margin. I'm gonna give this a margin of like, no, well, yeah, a margin of 20 pixels or so. But the top and bottom margin is gonna stay fixed. So I'm gonna leave it at 0 pixels. That's for the top and bottom. And the left and right margin, probably 20 pixels will do. Yeah, 20 pixels. And my padding, I'll just change my padding to about 70 pixels, top and bottom. My padding is gonna be like 70 pixels. Huh. Nah. About 70 pixels. I think that's pretty good. And before that, I don't like this white color in the background. So what I'm gonna do is this white background is all part of the body tag, right? So I'm gonna go back up. I'm gonna put the body tag up here and give it a background color of probably FF. No, wrong color. No. I think it was 1F. 1F. 1F? Nope, wrong color. Oh. Totally forgot the color. I'm pretty sure it was it was a light gray color. Let's check this out. It's a grayish color. We just go ahead and mess around with the color. Yep, I think that's perfect. I think that's perfect. And change the margin up a little bit. This is better. That's better. It's way better. Alright, so now what I'm gonna do is style the H1 tag, which is this whole section. Style it up the font size a bit to like 30. I don't know, 30 pixels will do. And I'm gonna set it, give it a text aligner center. Alright, and give it a margin bottom of like 20 pixels. I think that's pretty good. Yeah. And now okay, so now as you can see, the text is just too close to each other. the li tags are way too close to each other. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give it a line height section li and give it a line height of like probably 30 pixels. Yep. And also I'm gonna style it up. I'm gonna set the font size to about, I don't know, 17 pixels. I think 18. I mean, I guess that's a little better. And also, yep, I mean, that's about it. Okay, I think I need to up the margin a little bit. The margin, I need to up the margin, the padding of that whole section. I'm gonna up it to about 90 pixels and like 60 pixels. No. 60 and 90. So top from right here to right here is 60 pixels. Left and right is 90 pixels. So top and bottom 60, left and right 90. I think that's pretty good. So now let's see how it reacts. Okay. When you close it up, boom. That's pretty good. It's pretty good. Yeah. That's pretty good. The only problem is, I think the li tags are a little too close to each other, so I'm gonna set that to about, give that a margin bottom of like 20 pixels. I think that's a little better. Just look at it. Yeah, that's a little better. So now the only problem, okay, so now we could just go down and style this. So that's our A tag, which is at the bottom, all the way at the bottom, right here. Nope, that's our H2 tag. Okay, we just target the section H2, and we'll give that I think we have to go back to our guidelines. Oh, we have to set our A tag, give an ID of tribute link. Did we do that? No, we didn't. We have to give our A tag an ID. Of tribute link. Okay. So now we could go ahead and style our H2 tag. You give it like a font size of all the way down. Give it a font size of 30 again. and we're gonna set the text align to center, and font weight to bolder, and we're gonna target our link, which is right here, this link. We're gonna give that link a color, so section, so we're gonna target our A tag because it's inside the H2 tag. I'm gonna give it a color of orange, and so just so you know, since this is the color that's mainly used in this site, the orange border, the orange header, that's why I'm using orange, and you guys should stick to those colors, because you don't want to have a red link down here, and then up here a pink header, well, a green header, teal borders. You just want to have a really consistent set of colors. Alright, so now we can just mess with the hover, because nothing happens when you hover over it. When you hover over it, I want the color to be something else, not orange, but a lighter. And if you guys are using Visual Studio Code, this thing right here, it makes your color transparent or darker. So as it goes down, it becomes more transparent. I wish this could have stayed on the screen. If I put this all the way down, this should be transparent when I hover over it. See that? So this is how this works. So yeah, that's better. And that's about it. This is oh, I totally forgot. We should also add our media query. We have to make this thing respond more better. All this is perfect except one problem is this margin, this padding right here is a little too much. So what I'm gonna do is just decrease the padding when it's at this size. So to find this size, all you have to do is inspect the page, right click, and then inspect, and then move to the right, move to the left a little bit, and as you can see, the larger size up there, see that size is your width. The size on the left is your width. So if you, as I drag to the left, see the width go down, and so what I'm gonna do is when my browser has a width, or browser or device has a width of 500 pixels, like right here, you see I'm at 500, I'm gonna decrease the padding for left and right a little bit, so just so you can see what I'm talking about. I'm gonna create a media query media, and I'm gonna say max width. That's the maximum width when it's at 500 pixels. I want this area, the left and right of this area. This is my section, so I'm gonna set my section padding 0 pixels top and bottom, but left and right, no. I think my top padding was, where am I? My top padding is 60 pixels, so it's gonna keep it at 60 pixels. But my left and right padding, I'm gonna set it to a less. It's at 90 right now. See it right there. Right here, it's at 90. We're gonna lower that down so we can have more space on the screen, probably to 50. Nope, we want that lower. Nope, too much. 30, 40. Yep, that's what we want. So when it reaches 500 pixels, the padding decreases, so it has more space for the text. So as I increase, it goes back to normal. But once I hit 500 pixels, anything less than that, the padding is gonna be, what was our padding? 40 pixels. So as we go, the padding is gonna stay, as we stay under 500 pixels, the padding is gonna be 40 pixels. So when we go larger though, the padding is gonna go back to normal, which was 90 pixels left and right. And that's it, we're about done. So now we can just go ahead and test the site. Go into this link right here at the bottom, all the way at the bottom right here, and what you could do is just copy this code, copy your HTML and paste it under here, and copy your CSS, and boom. And as you can see, everything's responsive, which is good. Our image shrinks, and the padding that we were just talking about, yep, everything's changing. So now all we have to do is click here, right here, and then select tribute page, and then run test. And as you can see, we got 10 out of 10. And if you don't have 10 out of 10, you could just click here and look where you went wrong, and it will just tell you. And we got 10 out of 10. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Peace.
Perfect.